What's going on, guys? Welcome to an episode of Spill the Beans. Today I'm sitting down with Ty Bowman, who lives right here in Charleston. He's a marketing guy, absolute rock star at what he does. He's in a local marketing mastermind that I plug into on a monthly basis, and always have a ton of respect for his insights and his contributions to that group. And so I'm excited to sit down with him. I think I'm actually going to ask him to dissect one of my businesses. He works with a lot of consulting and education businesses. So if you have some sort of consulting business, or you have some sort of really any type of business that you're looking to scale up the direct marketing pieces and understand that if you magnify the amount of marketing that you put out there, you're going to see an equal or probably even more magnified return on your investment there. He's the guy to talk to. So I'm excited to sit down with him. Let's go have a chat with Ty. All right. Mr. Ty Bowman, welcome to Spilling the Beans, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, great. Dude. Excited to be here.
Cool, man. So first of all, I appreciate the friendship. I know we live on the same island over here, and we don't get together enough. So I'm excited to sit down with you and really I want to get into the weeds on your business. I know you do a lot of marketing for educational businesses and a lot of direct response marketing, and I think that's a skill set that a lot of people are interested in, but it seems too technical, or it seems too in the weeds, or too whatever, where I don't even know how to do that. So I'd really like to hone in on that, maybe use some case studies that you're working with, or you can, kind of do a hot seat with me or something if you want. But
yeah.
Dude, let's do it. So why don't you share a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey with me first?
Cool. Yeah. So right now, what we do at 7 Mile Media is help education marketers who are already doing 7 figures a year scale to 7 figures a month within 12 months.
Love it.
So that's where we're at. But before getting there, it was a long journey of kind of lots of testing and figuring out
What's your background?
what works. So my background is in sales and marketing.
Yeah. Is that what you went to school for?
I went to school for entrepreneurship and marketing.
Love it.
So after that, I started doing marketing for a packaging company, similar to The Office, paper and packaging company.
Yeah.
So
Dunder Mifflin?
That's it. And it was coincidentally in Scranton, Pennsylvania, too.
Get out of here, really?
Seriously, yeah. And it was
Is that where you're from?
Like the show.
From PA?
I'm from Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah.
So from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was started with them in marketing, and at that time it was providing the team with all the creative assets they needed to sell the products, and then SEO. So kind of the black magic SEO.
Dude, that's one of those things that was usually in new technology and marketing, there's some sort of run up on something and then it falls off or whatever. SEO is still very, very important, right?
It's very important.
Yeah.
There's a certain kind of system and science to it.
Yeah.
I got away from focusing on that and just going for the immediate kind of results and data.
I guess it's kind of like hunting versus fishing, right? Mm-hmm. When you're hunting for something, you can kind of go and control it because you're actively going out and pursuing that, right? Versus fishing, you're just putting a bunch of lines in the water, hoping somebody comes in and bites. And SEO is more of that. When you do direct response, you're going hunting. You're going out and you're getting more active. It's like outbound phone calls versus having a website.
That's exactly right. And yeah, so it's important, and I encourage everyone I work with to continually post all the content and repurpose the content that we provide them with on all their social channels, and it eventually kind of pays off. And
so tell me what that looks like. So if you had a new client, let's say I come on as a new client, and I'm like, hey Ty, here's what my business looks like right now. We're doing 7 figures. We'd love to do 8 figures a year, And so here's the things that we have in place. What do you guys do? How would you audit my business and say, Tim, let's take a look at these things and then make sure these are the foundational elements that need to be taken care of. Then this, then this, then this. Do you have a process?
We
that you
do.
guys go through?
Yeah, and that's kind of, we're continually improving our systems and processes, but we feel really good about where we're at right now with everything. Mm-hmm. And the way it'll start.
And by the way, all of us are all the time.
Yeah. That'll
always,
never end.
Yeah.
There's always something that could be improved upon, or. So the way we'll start is, first off, a lot of the people that we work with are already doing paid traffic. Usually about $1,000 a day they're spending at minimum right now when they come to us. So
Is that the limits, or is that what they're actually being charged? Right.
that's
Because
actually
there's
kind of like a
difference.
minimum of what they're being charged. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's
we've been trying to
typically.
ramp ours up, and it's like you can only spend $250 a day, and now we're up to 500 or 700 or something like that. But we just started it like a couple months ago, so it's like the more you spend, the more you're allowed to spend because they cap you on
Yeah,
that stuff right now.
Facebook especially caps you
Yeah.
at $50 a day for a minimum of 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then once you kind of show some good faith and you have positive engagement, positive spend, then they'll release 250, and
Yeah.
then 500. Then after that, so a little
Yeah.
over a month, then you're kind of free to run.
Good.
So yeah, typically by that point, a lot of the people who've come to us already are spending $1,000 a day on either Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or collectively amongst them all. So
Do most of those folks do they run it in house, or do they use third-party agencies in order to run those ads for them?
so it's kind of a split. Some of our clients are already very experienced, savvy marketers, and they just want to offload it and get the time back so they can focus on their business, which is either creating content or offers, or
exactly.
right. So we have that kind of bucket, and then the other bucket is somebody who's already scaled up and working with other agencies, and the agency world is a bit of a grind, so they just kind of leave and come to the next thing. So
yeah, it is, man. I've seen that a lot. Like all the agencies, there's a lot of turnover of clients, and a lot of those, at least with like the social media side of things and some of that. But
yeah, so when somebody comes to us,
they come to you.
We have kind of like 4 segments that we evaluate and work with them on. One is the offer. So what offers do you currently have, and then based on your goals, what offers can we help you develop? And
what do you look for in offers?
so
Is it kind of like the go to a wine shop and have 3 different pricing of wine, and is that kind of how you the mentality around it of like, hey, here's the low end wine, right? Nobody wants to look cheap, so then we have the middle offer, and then we have like this super high end offer, and then I've seen people, I was a marketing guy too, so you can move this middle offer around. You make it a little bit higher, and more people buy the top offer. You make it lower, and it looks like better deal, so more people buy this middle offer, depending on where the range is between low, medium, and high.
Yeah, I think when a lot of people come to us, they have like 1 or 2 of those elements. So they'll either have that front end low ticket, and then the first kind of entry level higher ticket, which is usually around $5K.
Yeah.
And they're missing that back end ascension step to $25K plus.
Yeah.
So we'll help them develop that program. If they come to us and have just the 5K offer, then we'll help develop a front end offer, and then the ascension up to the next step, which is the higher ticket, more personalized one-on-one.
Yeah.
So
No, I love it, man. So dissect mine. I have we have kind of the broad reach. Free is social media, right? We put out a ton of value on social media: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, all the platforms. From there, we have a $10 a month offer, which is Legacy Wealth Academy. It's a digital library of master classes taught by my mastermind members about all different asset classes. If you want to learn how to get into apartments or get into self-storage or get into mobile home parks, there's a course on each of those. There's courses on crypto, there's courses on e-commerce, there's courses on estate planning, insurance, anything wealth building, real estate, personal finance, or entrepreneur lifestyle design. There's a class that's a couple hours long in there. So that's $10 a month, and that's a pretty easy go from cold traffic and have somebody say, hey man, this is I'll
that's
test
an
it
easy
out.
commitment. Sure.
I'll test it out. Let me give $10 to it, right? From there, all these mastermind members go in there and they teach these classes, and we don't take anything away from what they make. So I say, hey guys, if you guys have a coaching, mentorship course or something, mastermind that you guys want to promote, go ahead and promote it. And if somebody really likes your content, then they're going to sign up and they'll
That's
come.
a great partnership.
Dude, I don't take anything. They keep 100% of the affiliate on it. They just have to be a member of my mastermind to be part of that ecosystem now. And then from there, I have Commercial Empire, which is $1,000 to come out and plug into Commercial Empire. We're playing with the pricing on that.
$1,000 one-time fee.
One-time 3-day boot camp. It's a virtual training on how to scale into apartments. Lots of value, tons of. We used to sell it for $5,000 in person, and then we made it 1,000 virtual, and I think we're going to drop it again, but still playing around with that. But we can go to cold traffic and sell that. Pretty much anything under $1,000, I find that you can do that without a sales team.
Yes.
And then the only thing that they have that's a high-end offer is our mastermind. So Legacy Family is $1,000 a month. That's the highest offer that we have. 12 grand a year, paid monthly, and there's first 12-month commitment, and then it goes month to month after that. And then and essentially we just sell that. We don't, it's not like, I'm not a hard sales guy, so you just say, hey, if you see the value here, I try to do like the Alex Hormozy fucking no-brainer offer. Like there's so much value. We do 3 events a year. There's a daily boardroom call with multiple 6-figure salary executives that run my business that are there to answer Q&A, a whole bunch of digital assets and contracts and all this other stuff, and our software for deal finding, our I don't even know. There's like so much stuff I can't even think about it all. But tons of value, and we just offer it at Commercial Empire. If people say, hey, I really like this, then they sign up right then and there. But we don't have a sales team. We don't follow up. We don't go through any of that stuff. But those are my 3 offers. Me bringing that to you, what would you say is like, hey man, we need to play around with this or tweak that?
I like the continuity offer, so you have that every month. And I guess it'd just be interesting to know how long the members kind of stay on for and what that looks like.
Legacy Wealth Academy, which is the $10 a month, was just launched in June. So it's only been 5 months. And I think about 50, like it's either $10 a month or you can pay annually and it's $100. So you get a 20%-ish discount if you pay annually. So it's $100. And about half the people pay up front in full, and then half of them do the monthly.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I actually didn't expect that at all. And then, and I don't know if there's been much attrition. Cam, do you know? On Legacy Wealth Academy? 1 person.
Yeah.
Oh, 1%. So,
that's
not bad.
No, that's solid. Yeah, that's great.
Well, I mean, we're giving so much value. It's stupid, right?
And
if somebody comes in and watches 1 video a year and they get a takeaway where they make money or save $100, it's like, this is a no-brainer, investment for me to be part of.
Yeah, so everything there works. One other step we do when we're kind of evaluating everything, we go through a content mapping call with our clients, and that's addressing where your ideal client would be on their customer journey, right? So they go from being cold, like not even aware of who you are, till the end goal, which is
part of the mastermind.
Part of the mastermind.
As long as they're a good human being, we have a no dipshit policy. So as long as they're good,
I dig that.
They're invited into the mastermind.
You only want to be with people that you want to sit and have a beer with, and
exactly, dude. I mean, it's like family. Like we get together, we hang out, we go to concerts, we have beers. So
addressing them where they're at on their journey is important, and I like that front end offer because it's not really specific to what the next step is for you, but it's at least providing them all the details around here are all these other vehicles for generating wealth, and just providing that value, and then the right ones will come and move through to the next step of yours. Which
when I was talking to Patrick Riddle, right, mutual friend of ours, neighbor, and so he's like, it's hard to sell pocket knife, right? Like a Swiss Army knife, because you got to talk about all the different features and people get lost in trying to sell a Swiss Army knife. It sounds cool because there's so many different features, but he goes, people want to sign up for something specific, right? It's easier to sell the knife than it is the whole Swiss Army knife, or it's easy to sell the magnifying glass or the tweezers or the pliers versus selling that. So one of the things that I think we're thinking about doing is let's run ads just for mobile home park investors. And then they get everything else that comes with it, right? Let's run ads specifically catered to multifamily investors, and then they get everything else, specifically catered to single family investors. So because we have all of it, we can run different ads and target different sectors, you know what I mean?
100%. Confusion is the ultimate deal killer.
Yeah, it's a great point.
If there's no clarity around what the offer is and what the outcome is, they want to know exactly what they're going to get out of it. They want a timeline associated to it as well. So adding in a timeline, like you can have this in 90 days or whatever that is. So
like this is what the result looks like.
This is what the result looks like.
Timeline.
Here's the timeline.
Got it.
And then accountability. So how are you keeping me on track to achieve these goals? So those are 3 key things that everyone looks for.
I like that. So how do you create the accountability in an offer? Like we don't really, I don't think. I mean, we have it in like social media, like a private Facebook group.
Private
we
Facebook
talk
group,
about that.
weekly Zooms, or
Yeah.
having an expert come in
Got it.
and work with them
So
on
we do that.
whatever it is. Yeah. So whatever the topic, and just keeping them on the program to get to that desired outcome. So
Yeah, I love that, man. So, all right, so we got these three things, low ticket. So, all right, what's the next step in diagnosing somebody's current business, current marketing, or what's something that you guys say, hey, here's something that we really need, and then where do you guys step in?
yeah. So then again, so we look at obviously KPIs. So what are the key performance indicators
Yep.
at each step, and then we can figure out how we need to rework an offer. Or so from when somebody comes into your legacy, that's the one that's $1,000.
Yeah,
$1,000,
the academy,
the academy
is the lowest, and then family is the highest offer that we have.
Got it. So then for the first offer, we would see how that converts and where people are at, and then what does the conversion look like from there to the next step. So if the conversion rate is low and you're not converting how you should immediately.
Now, how do you measure those conversions? You go off of emails, you go off of like touches to each one of the customers?
So in this case, it would be just conversions from Ascension from one step to the next.
So you can follow it through, your technologies of saying, hey, this person came into this funnel, I guess, or came in, signed up for Legacy Wealth Academy, and then look at, they also signed up for Commercial Empire.
That's right.
And then look at, they also signed up for this. Okay, so you're looking at each individual one.
Each individual one, and if you're not getting that result on the back end that you want from the people who are already indoctrinated, have come through, have had success, then I would deploy some steps to help increase that. So one would be an onboarding call right away when they come into the first group, and then on that onboarding call, set an offboarding call. This is based on the desired, like the time, and keeping them within the time frame. So
Got it.
we're going to help you in
the next
90 days, 6 months, whatever it is. Then before that 6 months or 90 days is up, 2 weeks before, schedule an offboarding call, and then that's where you can evaluate if it's time to move on or if they need more time. So that would be kind of one
I like that, dude.
piece you could add in immediately.
So how have you found, one of the things for me was always, I had this really sour taste in my mouth. I worked for a publishing company that was amazing. Guys that we both know who are absolute rock stars, love them like brothers, amazing human beings. And then they used a third-party sales team.
Yes.
And the sales team was just, desperate dick across the board, where these guys are chasing people into the bathrooms. They're talking to them in the urinal. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why are these people chasing me down? And I hate the feeling of how that just like, it's just greasy, and it feels like that reflects on me, right? Because they work for me and my brand. At least that was the perception back then. So I've always been anti-salespeople. How would you call your customer service rep? Call them like a customer service rep, just kind of help support, onboard, whatever, strategy call, something like that. We have somebody internally on our team now who understands, and they've been out to our events, and they've been through Commercial Empire, and they've been through Legacy Wealth Academy, and they're on our staff now, where we have them just kind of touching base with people. And I was like, listen, we're not like selling, we're not hard, just touch base and provide that accountability to people who want to come out to Commercial Empire, provide that accountability to people who, need the support or need that time and attention, and just be a touch point for them. And I think just having that is going to be able to give a sense of relief to the customer, right? People who want to go to the next level that we're not even talking to. Just I've been so anti-hiring the sales teams because they're cheesy and they're like fucking babies, right? It's like babysitting adults, and I don't like that aspect of it. Is how I've always seen a lot of the salespeople that we've seen in the industry. So like, what would you suggest somebody needs internally in order to be able to do all that follow-up stuff? Yeah,
so I'm definitely a salesperson to help just keep that relationship going and that nurturing, and you do such a good job, especially on the front end of giving value. And I always encourage everybody to give as much value. You can give everything away, and
people still pay for it.
They're still going to pay for it because they need you to help execute on it. So
they want it organized, they want support, they want the accountability.
So give it all away, and you do a phenomenal job of that. And then on the back end, you just kind of have to keep that going through the nurturing process to get them through. When it comes to sales teams, we work with several different kind of companies and third parties to do that. So one is just fully outsourced. They handle all of the sales for you 100%. They have a team of very experienced salespeople. They work with you on the pitch, the offer, and then they just take it. And they do a
I know our
phenomenal
buddy
job.
Brian's doing an amazing job with that right now.
He does,
He's
yeah.
slaying that right now. He uses third party.
And for that, typically, like a little bit higher cost to start up with, and then they take a percentage on the back end of sales close. So
First of all, what do they charge third party? 25 to 40% is kind of what I've heard.
yeah, 25 typically.
25.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that they're like, my greatest concern is that it's protecting my brand, my image, what I stand for, and the culture. How do you maintain that when you hire third party sales?
Yeah. So it's a lot of work from you as the owner and the brand up front. So a lot of time in vetting them and them working with you and developing that pitch and exactly how you want it and what they, with their input on what they know to be successful, and just kind of developing that together. Yeah. So that's super important to have that relationship and constant communication back and forth.
Yeah. And
reviewing the call reports just so you can get an understanding of, and work together. It's a partnership, right?
Point.
So, and everybody wants the same goal.
It's not a set it and forget it thing, right?
It's not.
Everybody thinks that everything in life is set it and forget it, and it's not that. There's this continuity piece that you got to pay attention to the KPIs. You got to pay attention, listen in on some of the phone calls, make sure that. My dad always says it's management by walking around. You know how I know a job's getting done?
Yes.
Is if I go and show up.
That's right. Yeah.
And then when I show up, guess what? The property manager is a little bit more chipper, and they're a little bit more paying attention, and they're picking up more trash because I just show up and I ask questions. It's like you got to do the same thing no matter what your business is, and specifically in this client relation type side of things, of like, how are the conversations going? And that's management by walking around. It's management by hopping on the call. It's management by being present. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that, out of all the sales teams that we work with, that's probably the most hands-off approach. There's other companies that we work with that they set you up, onboard you, and then they work with you to go through your whole entire business, how the sales pitch should look, and then they help you find the right people for you to bring in-house, and then you hire them on, and then they're your responsibility. So that's a lot more management of a sales team. Even though they're remote, you still have to, at the end of the day, when that 30 day or 90 days is up and you have everything that you wanted, now you take that over and have to manage those people.
Yeah.
The way a lot of our clients start is they have clients who've come through their program, and they bring them on to be a part of the sales team. So a lot of people, when they come to us, they usually have one or two people
with the whole process
who've gone through their program and they've had a lot of success with it. They're passionate about it, and now they want to help other people. So that's most of the people who come to us. That's what they have in place.
I like that. It's way easier because then they're intimately familiar with the assets. They're intimately familiar with the support. They're intimately familiar with the training, and they know the culture, right? More importantly than anything else.
Correct. Yeah.
And they're going to attract more people that fit the culture. And at least to me, that's the most important part.
Yeah, and they could tell their story, right? So they've been through it, and it's it's all just conveying that message, and since they've had success, it's going to come across, and it's going to wear, really.
Is it a self-limiting belief that you can't scale your business and make more money without giving up your beliefs or your culture or anything along those lines? Is that a made-up story in my head?
I think it's a made-up story.
I think it is. I think it's a self-limiting belief of mine.
It most definitely is. I like
institutionalizing it versus having that relationship feel. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. There's one client that I work with specifically, and they've been a client of mine for over 2 years now, and they have a great product. They help people with addiction and overcoming addiction, and they've always handled the sales internally, and because it's always been for them, we're the brand, we know how to talk to these people, but what's happened is it's kind of gotten them in a time crunch now.
That's
like
a very unique.
They don't have the time to take on any more business and scale, and now they realize that, okay, now we're getting in our own way, and we know there's people who can come in, help us out, and still help our clients and represent the brand the way that the brand should be represented. So they're in the process now of hiring some salespeople internally. We set them up with the one where they go through a 90-day boot camp, and then they'll have their own kind of in-house sales team. So
I love it.
And they'll start with a setter and a closer. So the
Setter sets up the appointments.
Sets up the appointments. Anyone who kind of sends either a book call in or shows some interest,
they get on the
reach
phone
out,
and
get on the
actually
phone, and then make sure that they're going to attend the call.
and they set the expectation, not
Correct.
just setting up the time, but they set up the expectation of what to expect on that phone call.
That's right.
And they're kind of priming them, right? So that way when that person gets on the phone call with the closer is really the salesperson
Yep.
who's trying to, figure
Yeah.
out what the best fit is in
That's
the
it.
organization.
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna be meeting with John. John's been here so many years.
Builds
and
credibility
He's
in that
done
person,
this. Yeah, he's
edifies
got a
them.
family, and then you're gonna be good hands, and hope you have a good call. So
Yeah.
and just confirming that happens. So
Do you see, obviously we were talking about the market kind of shifting. I was giving you some insights on the real estate side. Have you seen entrepreneurs slow down on their marketing since the economy shifted, or are you seeing people pour fuel on the fire?
everyone that I work with is pouring fuel on the fire. I feel like they're
'Cause
all
they know
they're aggressive, they're entrepreneurial, they want to help people, they want to grow their business, they want to get their message out and help as many people as they can. So they're just
They understand
going on.
marketing.
That's it.
I think a lot of earlier entrepreneurs, they don't understand the value of marketing and that marketing is an investment.
That's right.
A lot of people think it's an expense, so then they start cutting marketing back. I shared this story. I was with Mark Weeks, actually. I think I shared it with him. But Post and Kellogg's, back in the early 1900s, Post, dude, had the vast majority of market share. And they had so much market share that Kellogg's was trying to catch up, couldn't catch up because Post had first mover's advantage.
Yep.
The guy from Post actually worked for Kellogg's and left because Kellogg's was just it was like a medical institution or something, and they just made like granola and whatever as I don't know, something for their medical patients to eat for breakfast in the morning. And they saw positive results. And the guy from Post worked in a kitchen. He's like, I can commercialize this and sell it. So he leaves, starts Post, absolutely crush it. Dude, it catches fire. Cereal's like a new thing, and everybody moves over to that. Kellogg, finally, the one brother's like, dude, can we please take this to market? So then they bring it to market. Just couldn't catch up. Great Depression hits, 1929.
Yep.
Post has so much market share, in their arrogance, pulls back on all their marketing. Kellogg's quadruples down on
Interesting.
it, pours fuel on the fire, because they realized that having brand recognition was a long-term play, and this, market turmoil was only a short-term situation. So they pour fuel on the fire. They end up taking market share from Post to the point where they got above and beyond what Post
was doing
market
even
share
previously.
was. Yep.
Yeah.
And since then, now today Kellogg's does I think about 15 billion and Post does 5 billion. They haven't caught up in 100 years.
Since
dude,
oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Isn't that because they understood the value in marketing and building the brand versus seeing marketing as an expense. I think that is such a profound story, and when you understand that and what that can do, this market turmoil is a short-term thing. It's a blip in the radar on the grand scheme of timelines in our life. And if we double down when everybody else is pulling back, dude, you're going to stand out more, and you're really going to get a lot of recognition and attention from everyone.
100%. And there's a lot of ways to do that, and just continuing to put valuable content out and staying in front of everybody, continuing to put proof out, all the success stories, third-party validation. So continue hitting on all those and don't stop. And
So
then
stay relevant.
Stay relevant.
So
Yep.
Provide value.
Correct. Yep.
And what else?
And really, so a lot of our clients, and in your case too, you have either a passive income vehicle or tool, or it's something that somebody could leave their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And right now, a lot of people, especially with where the market's heading, are looking for, they go to the office every day, they go to 9 to 5. They know there's more out there. They're just looking for the right vehicle to help them get there. So, and all of our clients are the same. It's just a matter of what the kind of market wants, really. So, and staying in front of them, giving them at each step on that journey, here's what you need to do to get started. Here's what you need to do to get to the next level. Here's the proof. Look, we have all these people who are doing this, and you can too. And when they see that, okay, I want to get into either fix and flips or apartments or Airbnb or whatever the case is, like you're in front of them when they decide to make that decision.
I've realized you're very good at setting that expectation right on the front end, so people know exactly what to expect as they come through and do business with you versus if they have to ask, that means you're not doing your job. You know
That's
what
right.
I mean?
Yep.
So like you're really good at that, and I can tell. And that's something probably that we lack at, or could do a lot better at, is we need to set better expectations of like, here's where you're at right now, here's where we'd love to see you be if this is what your goal is, and then here's the highest level where you can achieve unbelievable lifestyle kind of results, if we can get you up here. And so we need to do a better job of painting that story of sharing the ascension of what it looks like as you continue to grow with our organization. I think, you've done a really good job and kind of hit on it a couple times, teased it, so that's a big takeaway from mine.
Yeah, awesome. That's really everyone who comes to us, we have to develop these products for the full suite, because that way their business could be successful, everything can make sense, and for us to help them get to where they need to be, we find from all of our experience we have a vast majority of clients in all different niches, but
what are some of the niches? So you got I think
so
you
we
said
have
something
real
about
estate,
real estate obviously.
we have real estate, a lot of not e-com, but kind of like done for you e-com services, a lot of some YouTube automation stuff, really any coaching and consulting type program for passive income is what a lot of our stuff is.
I love that. So the ideal client of yours, and I know you have a backlog, but if you guys, like Ty's one of the best in the country at doing this stuff. So you gotta connect with them if this is something that you want to like scale this side of your business. Somebody's already doing 7 figures.
Correct.
Right, and has some of these components. You can help them kind of put some things in place, dial in their offers, dial in the pricing on those offers, dial in the systems behind those offerings, and then scale it to essentially 7 figures a month, which is 8 figures a year.
Yep, we have a lot of our clients are hitting that every month in, month out. So
it's amazing, dude.
Yeah, it's great stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, dude, you're leading with value. You personally, your business is leading with value, and you understand investing in assets. People.
That's right.
As the market shifts, people start pulling back on a lot of things that they think are expensive. And the reality is you cannot pull back on the assets. What are assets? Well, tangible assets that we know are like real estate.
Yes.
Right? But marketing, the right people on your team, people are an asset. Relationships are assets. And education, right? Like if you are educated and you know how to capitalize on deals in this coming market, whether you're buying businesses or expanding businesses or buying real estate or expanding your portfolio, like if you understand how to prospect, how to market, how to make offers, how to structure deals, how to raise capital, like dude, you're gonna be so set up because you understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Yeah, cut back on the liabilities, but do not cut back on investing in assets.
That's right.
There's always an ROI.
Absolutely.
So, cool, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you being here, man. Always fun hanging out, and we'll make sure that you guys have Ty's contact information in the show notes below. You got to hit him up, connect with him on social media. He's always leading with value, so I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Hope you guys got a ton of value out of that. Ty's such a good dude. He's like not only a great marketer, but he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So make sure you connect with him on social media. If his business is something that you guys want to connect with, like I don't get anything out of it, but feel free to reach out to him and see if he can help you guys out. I know he's on a little bit of a waiting list for the next 3-4 months, but hit him up and you can work together in 2023 on scaling your own business. So as always, I appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, sharing this, and putting some comments in the section below, so that way I know what some of your biggest takeaways are, any questions that you have that we can create content around moving forward. So appreciate you. See you next time on Spill the Beans.